part 4. I attempted to play Civ, but I think I've had my fill. Normally I watch anime in the evening to unwind, but I'm just not really feeling finishing Hellsing Ultimate. Upon further review of a rewatch, I would rate it like a 6.5. Maybe a 7. It's worth watching once, but I don't know. It just doesn't really hold up. Maybe that's just me. I'm also curious how much the algorithm boosts your content when you're live streaming. So that's another reason why I'm hitting the live stream, because I'm just curious about how the algo works. Figuring that stuff out. Also, every time I come on, people usually buy a herd share, so they sign up. That's good for me. I like that. Spaces are limited to that, by the way. Well, there's a lot more heritage hogs, and there are a lot of chickens, but everything else, I think all the turkeys sold out. Or I shouldn't say sold out, is gone. I suppose this is an excuse to eat raw bone marrow. Hey, you don't need an excuse to do that. Of course, I'm just now realizing I need to consolidate my eggs, because I have a container of eggs on a cooler, but it needs to be over here with the other eggs. But that's my problem, isn't it? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your eggs in one cardboard box. That's what it should said. What's up with you, RJ? I just got out of the bath. This is a tough one. I'm pretty tired. What can I eat or drink to hydrate after a large meal? Technically, after a large meal, that is, raw food, you really shouldn't need much hydration if you're getting the meat and the fats. But if you do want some hydration and you don't have milk, you can blend some eggs with some water and honey, a little lemon maybe, and I would wait at least 45-30 minutes before drinking any of that. So I would try that. That's a good thing to hydrate. That's what I drink if I go train boxing or something, and I don't want to make, or rather, it's winter, and I don't have ingredients for a hydration formula, fresh, in season tomatoes and cucumbers and watermelon. I'll make that. It's lemon, eggs, honey, water. It makes a quart. I make a quart. I do 6 to 8 eggs, some water, some lemon, some honey. It's pretty easy, and it works great. It's light. You sip it, you're getting fats and protein and water, electrolytes in the lemon. You could even, sometimes a cucumber's okay to put in there. Blend a cucumber in there. I do that. If you're sweating, you want to have cucumber. It would be beneficial. Cucumber is beneficial because of the silica. I probably eat a cucumber every day, half a cucumber a day in the summer, in the spring. So, yeah. It's good stuff. And the tomatoes, having your own fresh tomatoes is great. What's up? I'm thinking of just saying I should pay more to actually eat what I want. Yeah, that's a good idea. Fat deprived because I've only been eating pork and ground sheep from the herd share. I believe the meat is leaner than what I'm used to. Just order some pork fat or order some fat trimmings. I'm sure he'll give you a good deal. Pork is not a lean meat either, by the way. Well, they're heritage breed hogs on pasture, so they are probably going to be a little bit leaner than your conventional pigs, but order some fat trimmings and follow the recipe on my page. I've got the fat trimmings with the pineapple, and that works really good too. So that's good to have with meats. It makes a nice little sauce, a little condiment action. Do some pork fat. Pork fat is good. I don't know if sheep have a lot of fat on them. They probably don't, but just order pork fat if you can't get butter. Okay, so yeah, you need more fats and some honey, honestly. You need more fats for sure then. So get some fats. But yeah, constipation is kind of a it happens, but you just need more fat, honestly, and some bacteria. In some cases, the suppository can be a good fix for that. Oh, they have raw butter. How much is their butter? I didn't know that. How much do they charge for butter? I'm not surprised they started offering butter. I'll have to get that out there to people. $8 a pound. Wow, amazing. Amazing. I'm actually gonna let's see here. How do I discard? I want to use I don't have it. The prices. Here it is. Great. I didn't know that. I'm going to put that out there. Their cheese is good. Wow. Their cheese is really good. That's good to hear. I haven't heard anything about their cheese. Thank you for letting me know. Uh-oh. Don't want a copyright strike. Let's see here. Oh, the cheese I think is $7 a pound, isn't it? That's great. Sheep blood is $5 a pint. Wow. Those are good prices. Amazing. I'll have to make another video with these prices. I'm going to write this down. Is the cheese $7 a pound or $8 a pound? I forget. What's up, Jado? I'm drinking, by the way, this is some half and half. An old cream jar I mixed up with some fresh milk and some honey. And we've just enjoying that. I had a bath. No chicken today, no meat. What's up? Don't leave me hanging, average looks maxer. How much is the cheese per pound? Is it 8? Is it 7? I forget. I think it's 7. How you doing? Gonna get my first raw milk for the year for my co-op, but they won't have it till April. Oh, that's crazy, man. I can't imagine. I would find a new source. They probably only have like 2 cows, it sounds like, because the one's drying off. It doesn't even really add up, because if your cow's drying off couple months, 2 months. Yeah, no, February, March. Yeah, that sounds about right. So they're drying it off till it gives birth. Ask about colostrum if you're interested in that, because there will be colostrum. Stomach issues. Ah, $6 a pound. Okay. That's okay. Close enough. Mm-hmm. Do I write on raw paper? Absolutely. I should get a notepad to carry around with me. I don't really do too much of that. I should, but I don't. Honestly, I'm not even like a real human being anymore. I just type everything on my phone. It kind of sucks low key, but greetings, Bonka. Imagine a grass-fed, grass-finished. No, I won't. Did you hop on New Pipe? No, I did not. The pork for the herd share is actually $7 a pound, and it is heritage pasture raised. Heritage. It's a heritage. What's important is the hog is a heritage breed, so it's not a conventional hog, and it's pasture raised. Is it true that raw 1800 is 90% enzymes and 10% sugar? I don't really know. I don't really think about that stuff too much. Some of those autogenous subtleties. Maybe. I mean, it is bee vomit in a sense, so there has to be some enzymes in there. But yeah. Hmm. When I bought the pork on the paper invoice thing, it says 6. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Crazy. Well, that's good for you. Um, Fish is definitely easier to digest. I don't think chicken is much easier than beef, but fish is definitely easier because you just look at the meat. There's no like substance to it. It's very flaky, very soft. Oysters can be farmed or wild, it doesn't matter. You look like you have good taste in music, or is it placebo? Oh, I have. When it comes to music, I know ball. I know ball. I have exceptional taste in music. I probably know music that is your favorite music and you don't even know it yet. The songs albums you would hear, and you would listen to it, and you would say, my life is never going to be the same. Where was this my whole life? And yeah, that kind of stuff. So I do have, really it's just style. I have style, and a lot of people don't have style. It's not something you can learn. It's something you can mimic to a point, but I've always had authentic style. I've always been ahead of the curve. Not just with this raw meat stuff, but, for instance, when I was a young lad, I was listening to Daft Punk's Discovery album, and it had just come out. And nobody even knew about Daft Punk. People didn't even get the concept of Daft Punk, but I was listening to it, and I'm like, this is a timeless album. This is a great album. And I'd listen to it all the time. I remember I had to get it from the library and burn it to my computer to listen to it, because I couldn't find it in stores even. That's how rare it was. So I've always been ahead of the curve there. Gorillaz is another one. When they came out, pretty, they had a hit song, sure, but otherwise it was very, people didn't really appreciate everything like that. And I told people, when Radiohead and Rainbows came out, I listened to that album, I'm like, this is gonna be timeless, and it is. It's crazy. Name every Boyz II Men album. I am not a Boyz II Men fan. I do not like acapella R&B music. I respect Boyz II Men for what they are, but not really my jive. Not really my jive. I like older R&B. I like 90s hip hop. Yeah. So Buju Banton champion. I don't know what that is. You should check out. Yeah, no, I don't like that. I'm not gonna like that. You should check out. You would like this. That's This is a compilation remix album by this group, and 2 albums, Juke Joint 1, Juke Joint 2. Very stellar mixtape albums to put on. Music that's different enough to be interesting and catch your attention, but it's all cohesive and vibes the same way. really two of my favorite mixtapes. And if you like that, I think you would. I think that would be up your alley. There's some jazz. There's some old R&B. There's some ambient electronica. Some reggae. It's that kind of feel, and it's very good. My favorite fruit would probably have to be grapes, like really good Concord grapes. Those are probably my favorite fruit. I love them. So, yeah, grapes, Concord grapes are my favorite. Um, Small amounts of insoluble fiber are not a big small amounts of insoluble fiber are not a big deal because you don't digest it like seeds or skins. You know, if you get seeds or skins a little bit, they go right through you. It's not a big deal. But if you try to eat a lot of it at one time, it can be a problem. Insoluble fiber, or I'm sorry, soluble fiber is basically harmless, yeah. But if you eat too much, well, I would even say even too much of any kind of fiber is a problem, honestly. But insoluble fiber is the one people can have a lot of problems with. Seeds and skins, leaves, you know, that kind of thing. So I insoluble fiber. What? I get some seeds with my tomatoes. I eat the skin of cherry tomatoes. Um, but like I don't eat a lot of insoluble fiber really because there's just not much to eat. Like maybe a little bit in the pulp of vegetable juice. Talking very little bit. You know, like it's probably less than half a cup in a quart jar. Depending on what I juiced, it could be as much as half a cup, but I strain it pretty good. So, yeah, man, you'll really dig those mixtapes. I guarantee it. Some of my faves. Um, yeah, the best thing to eat to get digestion boosted: beets in your vegetable juice, and pineapple with your fruit meal, or pineapple with your meat meals. Little bits of pineapple every other day, every day if you can. Morning. Who's morning? Timing. Oh, best timing to eat. Yeah, generally when you wake up and eat, it's obviously kind of a no-brainer. So, is just doing the diet enough to stay protected from EMF. It'll make it easier to deal with, but you should avoid it as much as you can, obviously. Now, of course, here I am on the computer, and I have an incandescent heat lamp, infrared light. So, that's EMF, but I sleep pretty good. I think my health is all right for the most part. What's that? Oh, it's bits of wood. Okay. And, yeah, I have not vacuumed since I had those fires. Let's probably do that again. It's funny because I vacuumed like right before the furnace went out, and then the furnace went out, and I had to have a fire down here constantly to help heat up the house. And of course, just my living space. It was very cold. So, anyway, it just gets messy. Hold on, let me fix this. Yeah, you want to avoid cell phone towers, Wi-Fi routers as much as you can. You can actually hardwire your connections. You can log into your router and turn off the Wi-Fi. And you can turn off the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi on your computer. That's what I did. So my computer is just plugged in to the router with a cable. It doesn't emit Wi-Fi, doesn't ping for a Wi-Fi signal. The Bluetooth is off. So it's really good if you can do that. And basically, you just have to program your router to do it. You can ask AI how to do it. There's a bit of a step because, well, no, I guess it's different because I'm using a router from a modem. But if you have a router and modem combo, which actually you really want to get your own router and modem. You don't want to use the internet companies if you can help it. You can get your own, so it's a little more hardened, and you can do some security stuff on there, which is useful to do. Kind of overkill, to be honest. But anyway, you need to make sure your modem is configured to have multiple ports running internet, so it's able to get the same bandwidth, and so the bandwidth isn't being divided from the ports. So that's something some networking I had to do. It wasn't too hard. But yeah, I just use AI to walk you through it. It's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, I get some Ethernet cables, 50-foot Ethernet cables from Amazon. You can get 100-foot Ethernet cables from Amazon. They come with little tracks with pins, so you can nail them into your walls or whatever. They're very small, but very discreet, very sturdy. That's what I have. I run it on the ceiling, and then it comes down where my console and computer are, so they're not in the way. You don't want to, it's not something you want to step on, but yeah, it's worth it to hardwire your connections. It's more reliable too, because Wi-Fi can get janky, but you can turn your Wi-Fi off. You can run Ethernet cables to your TVs. Of course, you won't get smart devices. You can run it to your printer. So you can hardwire everything, basically. Eat raw meat. Teens always sure for good development. It's definitely going to help, but honestly, a lot of your growth is done. Now, when I started eating a lot of red meat, my body filled out more. My face got a little whiter. I gained weight. My chest got bigger. It was noticeable, but it's not like this miracle transformation. You guys have to understand, a lot of these people doing these ascension before and after pictures, they're using, I want to give a shout out to my to my nephew, my primal nephew, Primal Lute. He broke it down pretty well. A lot of these people's pictures are orientated in such a way that they fool you into thinking they had this massive glow up because of eating a diet. And it's just a lie. And some of them even just Photoshop. Blatant Photoshop. So, you know, a lot of these people who are trying to sell you a course to change your looks, a lot of it is bullshit. You know, a lot of it is just cope, and they're trying to steal your money. Yes, your health is going to get better if you eat raw meat. That's not hard. You don't need to have a course. You don't need to pay for a course to do that. You could keep doing everything in your life and just eat raw meat 2-3 times a week, 2 times a day, and your health's going to get better, even if you change nothing else about your life. This is in the book. So, you know, cutting out all the bad stuff and eating healthy foods is 50% of the battle. So, yeah, it's not some magic pill, though. It does help, but it's not going to be like people, like they're trying to sell you. They're trying to take your money. That's what. So, like, you notice I'm not about, you know, looks maxing or telling you it's going to make you look better, because it's not necessarily the case. You get healthier, you feel better, you look better. There's something inherent in that, but it's not like these people make it out to be. So, how much fruit is too much? If you're eating more than one piece of fruit a day, that is not ideal. And how have Andean communities activated growth with a plant-based diet? I don't know what that is. They probably have growth because they're not poisoned with pharmaceuticals. That's pretty much it. I got a timer plug, and I've turned off radio Wi-Fi, and I also have Ethernet cable for my phone and devices. Yeah, there you go. Jay Do knows what's up. I have one Wi-Fi channel on, but it's just one. So it's not too bad. It's not blasting out 2 of them. Yeah. Gerolsteiner's a good water brand. Gerolsteiner, Borsec, Bajormi. Those are the 3. GBB. 1 pound. 1 pound of fruit. Yeah, I mean, a handful of fruit is what you want to eat, because it's relative to your body too. So a handful of fruit is enough for you. So you need to eat like a handful of fruit with an equal amount of fat would be ideal, but it doesn't need to be exactly equal, but it needs to be close. With cheese, with fat. Sometimes fruit with eggs can be cleansing. Ripe fruit with meat can cause meningitis. So, you know. Yeah, it is what it is, man. That's the way it is. Had a bag of raspberries recently, gave me a panic attack. Well, berries are known to help remove metals like aluminum, raspberries especially, so it probably wasn't the chocolate milk. Well, the chocolate milk probably didn't help because of the chocolate, but the berries can, berries can have you acting up. Up another 5 pounds. Let's go. Yeah. You got about I'd say another 10 pounds, and then you'll be at a decent weight. No, actually for 5'9", you need another 15 pounds. Once you get to 170, you'll feel better. You'll feel better. Because I'm 5'8", and I'm 176 right now. I feel pretty good, but I need more weight. So I'm trying to get to 200. We'll see if I can do it. I don't know if I can, though. Maybe by the end of spring I can get to 200. We'll see. Dude, so all my meat and blood froze during transport. Some of it thawed. Out of frustration, I drank about a pint of previously frozen blood. Now I'm puking, having the runs in the bathroom. Live bait. Did you order from My Herd Share, or where did you order from? Oh yeah, no, I forgot it's winter, and it's like sub-zero temperatures. So yeah, it's kind of tough with Mother Nature. It's either too hot or too cold. So that is frustrating. It probably wasn't the pint of blood you drank. It was probably the cortisol spike. So yeah. Um, Frankie's, yeah. It could be Frankie's. Frankie's freezes everything too. He doesn't ship anything fresh from my. He didn't used to, at least. I mean, he keeps everything in a freezer. I'm pretty sure, and all his blood comes frozen. So yeah, but live bait. I've got a herd share. We've got rave reviews. Average looks maxer. He's a member. He loves it. The cheese is good. The butter's cheap. The meat's cheap. $5 a pint for fresh blood, live bait. What are you paying, Frankie? $8, $10 for a pint of blood that's frozen? I can hook you up with $5 for fresh blood, never frozen. How toxic do the metals in raw blood become? I don't know. Listen. So people who think food becomes toxic when it's frozen. Now, toxic is a very strong word, okay? Roundup is toxic. Raid wasp killer is toxic. Pharmaceuticals are toxic. If you freeze grass-fed meat, blood, does that become toxic? No, I don't think so. That's what Augenis said, but again, I think his experiments they need to be replicated, because from what I read, and maybe I'm wrong, he fed, actually let's look on Augenis.net. If I recall, it was frozen chicken he fed the dogs. Hmm. So I mean, lipid peroxides are pretty much the only thing that become toxic. I mean, that's such a stretch because it's not even a lot of. It has to be frozen for like 16 weeks before you get 80%. Before you get like any meaningful amount of lipid peroxides. Yeah, so I would be curious to know what meats he fed the animals because, like, you can feed fresh birds to dogs and some of them will get mange because, like, if you think about it, should birds really even, or should dogs really even be able to eat birds? I don't know. But I know dogs that are healthy dogs who get a raw diet and they can't eat chicken because the chicken gives them mange. Fresh chicken, it gives them skin problems, even fresh chicken. So, I think whatever is causing that, I don't know. But they're healthy dogs and they're getting skin problems from fresh meat. So I don't know that it's right to blame frozen meat for everything, So, but okay, look, I'm not saying to eat frozen meat. I'm just saying I think calling it toxic is a real stretch, right? It has lipid peroxides in it. That's pretty much it. And sure, some of the bacteria are gone. They become a little more detoxifying. And, so there's water-soluble nutrients that are damaged, okay? But to say it's toxic is a little hyperbolic. Augenis was a dramatic guy. He was a drama guy, okay? So, fresh meat is always going to be more healing than frozen meat. But I wouldn't say frozen meat is toxic. I think that's stupid, honestly. Because, I mean, there's people like Wes Rowe. He ate a bunch of frozen meat. He's fine, I've seen dogs eat frozen meat. They're fine, Like I said, I think it depends on, is it white meat? Is it the white meat? Because I don't think dogs do well. Like, a lot of dogs don't do well with birds. Because it's like, how would dogs eat birds? They really wouldn't, right? The dogs would eat more ruminants, rabbits and hogs and deer. And if dogs hunt birds, they're retrieving them, generally. I think it's because he says when you cook, there are toxic byproducts. Freezing is pretty much the same. No, freezing is not the same. There's no way freezing is the same as cooking. That's crazy. The freezing changes the bacteria in a way that makes it more detoxifying, but cooking it creates it in a way where the bacteria become more toxic because they're feeding on, like, literally destroyed meat. So there is some nutrition loss in frozen, but it's not what cooking is. The heat is much more destructive than freezing. Lactomel, never heard of it. Lactomel. Oh, what is it, mead? Milk mead. Whey. Interesting. I don't really like drinking too much. Why do you think that Goatus, Devarius, and several other people went from Agenus diet onto raw meat and left out the powerful veg juice and formulas from Agenus? Well, Goatus doesn't really do the diet, so there's that. And Devarius, he just eats raw meat because he doesn't really have the he's a very mobile guy, so he doesn't have the vegetable juice. He just doesn't do that. Like I said, some people they don't need to do the vegetable juices. You know, they might not need certain things like other people do. It's totally body dependent. So, you know, but it is something that can catch up with you. Like, for instance, the vegetable juice is useful when you're detoxifying because it helps bind free radicals in the bloodstream, the parsley and the celery juice. So if your body is very starved for nutrients, it's not going to detox. You can't detox, build your body, and fuel your body at the same time. You have to choose two of the three. So when I first started the diet, I did not do vegetable juice. I didn't need it. I tried it a couple times. It was okay, but it wasn't something I needed. I could sit down and eat a pound of meat, no problem. But after a few years, and I started to go into detox, the vegetable juice became very useful. So, you know, there's that. It could just be a point where my body was starved for nutrients, and it got to a point where I had the nutrients, and then it started to detox over time. And when I added in the vegetable juice, it fixed a lot of my problems. So there's that. Convenience is another one. So I haven't had vegetable juice in 2 months. Yeah, I haven't had any vegetable juice in 2 months. I've just been eating grapefruit and cream and honey. That's been what I've been doing for alkalizing stuff. And I have some parsley plants I moved inside, and I've been doing chopped parsley on some meat. So between that, I'm doing pretty good. I have my appetite. I'm eating probably 1 week of red meat and 2 to 3 weeks of white meat. So that's kind of my breakdown right now. And yeah, I feel great. I feel fine. I feel very balanced. The grapefruit's very alkalizing, so if you don't want to do the vegetable juice, the grapefruit is good in a pinch. It's also a very useful fruit because it helps dissolve things. Not as much as pineapple, but it really does help. It's especially good for your bladder and your blood as well. So I love grapefruit. It's really good, like with the cream and the honey and honeycomb especially. That's the stuff. Nah, grapefruit's not bitter. Eat it with some cream and honey. It's really good. The honey makes it a little sweet, and it mixes with the cream really nice. Grapefruit might be bitter if you're used to sugary foods, but you know, I used to think that way too. But yeah, I love grapefruit now. I really crave it. So raw lactomel. Yeah, it'd be pretty easy. I mean, I pickle stuff like ginger with the whey, and when I'm done with the ginger, I eat all the pickled ginger. I have the whey left over. I put in honey and lemon into that, and I shake it up, and then I drink that. It's not exactly alcoholic, but I guess it could be if I let it sit longer. But it's a good drink. It tastes really good. It's very refreshing, invigorating, very hydrating. So I ate it unripe, but even ripe, it's slightly bitter. It also has to be in season. So if you're not eating grapefruit in season is so much better than out of season grapefruit. I mean, all fruits are. They all taste better in season, but right now I eat a lot of grapefruit because it's in season and vegetables aren't in season. So I'm probably going to keep doing this for another 2 months until May comes around and I get some tomatoes and celery maybe. I might even not drink vegetable juice. No, I will. I should. It's helpful. I need the parsley because of the antibiotics. Well, what component does the ginger, lemon, honey would make it alcohols if it's afro-lactone? It would be the honey. It would be the honey in the way. Because the sugars break down into the alcohol. The ginger and the lemon would just give it a nice taste. You know, another thing you could do is make ginger bug, jado. Ginger bug is where you grate ginger and you just let it ferment. And you can make, you know, sparkling stuff out of that. You can make ginger beer out of that. That would be good. Like whey with ginger and honey. You can make a nice ginger beer like that. That'd be fun. I don't have the time to do that stuff though. White grapefruit? I didn't even know there was white grapefruit, but that sounds really good. I'm going to look it up here. White grapefruit. Oh, it's a hybrid. High juice content. That sounds good. I've had pomelos before. If you get a ripe pomelo, it's really good. I would like to try that as a grapefruit connoisseur. Butter beer and Harry Potter. I don't know. I maybe, I guess. Let me look it up. Butter beer. It's just cream soda, butterscotch, butter syrup, and cream. So yeah, I mean you could make, yeah. I would use Gerolsteiner honey cream in an egg. That's how I would make butter beer. But butterscotch, what is butterscotch? Butterscotch is just caramelized sugar, right? What is butterscotch? Oh yeah, brown sugar and butter with cream, vanilla, and salt. So you would need cream, vanilla, and honey. But you're not going to get the same flavor because it's caramelized. But you can get close with cream, honey, vanilla, egg, and Gerolsteiner. That would be pretty close. You can actually find honey, fall honey that's crystallized and it looks like caramel. I would use that because that has a caramelized taste to it. The herd share butter and cheese is amazing. Average looks maxer, tell them how good the butter and the cheese are. The best prices as well. You're not going to find a better price for butter and cheese anywhere else. So, and the cheese is 100% raw. There's no salt, there's no heat. What should I eat in the morning if my appetite is low? You need the vegetable juice. Celery, parsley, beet, and yeah, eggs after that, and then do your meat meal an hour after that. The vegetable juice after your last sip, and have the fat with it. Drink milkshakes. Drink a quart of a milkshake every day, in addition to like 1 pound of meat. Half a pound, morning, evening. I was thinking more literal, like fermented butter and melted fermented with maybe honey could be alcohol. No, you can't ferment fat. Like if you try to ferment stuff with a high fat content, it doesn't do well. It's not going to break down into alcohol as well. because of the fat. So the closest you would get is finding crystallized honey that's looks very similar to caramel. That's the closest you're going to get. It's out there. I know I bought 5 gallons of it a couple of years ago. I was really amazed. But it was like this crystallized honey. Really raw honey is kind of what you're going for. The whey, the cream, the egg, the vanilla, that would be pretty close. The chicken's really good. The chicken's really good. They're old chickens, so they're big and they're tasty. They got a lot of flavor. I ate one on video. I did a review on it. It comes with the heart, the lungs, or I'm sorry, the heart, the gizzard, the liver, the neck, and the feet. So you're getting, you're getting a perfect quality bird with those things shipped to you fresh. It's great. You can eat moldy butter. It might be a little detoxifying. It depends how well you do with mold. But yeah, I just pick it off and it's fine. The rest of the butter's fine. You don't need to get rid of it. I haven't had chicken from the herd share yet. The blood is very good. It's coagulated and has very nutrient-rich taste. Yeah, that's how you know fresh blood is good, because it's coagulated. If it doesn't coagulate, it's probably got salt in it or citric acid. So, unless you're blending it before you drink it to get it liquid again, yeah. So yeah, it's funny to see all these kids drink blood. They get shipped to them, and it's liquid, and it's like, yeah, there's salt in there, or citric acid or something to prevent it from coagulating. You just don't understand. But yeah, I've had the chicken myself, and it's very good. It's some of the best chicken I've ever had. It's got a very nice taste. The bones, the carcass, will make a nice gift to friends and family who like to do chicken stock, because old birds make the best, most flavorful chicken stock. So if you don't have a dog to give it to, or a cat, not that your cat could eat bones, but if you can't give it to an animal to recycle, give the carcass to family or friends for chicken stock. They will thank you. It'll be the best chicken soup they've ever had. So there you go. Don't waste, don't throw it away. Don't throw away your chicken carcasses. Just make sure someone can use it for soup. You can sell it for like $3 probably. You could probably sell it on Craigslist. Say, hey, I've got organic, no soy bird carcass for soup, $3. I'm sure someone will buy it off of you. People want that stuff. I don't know. You have to call them and ask. You have to call them and ask. I don't know. I never heard of that place. You can check the food sourcing in the school if it's in there. I don't know. I don't think I've heard of them, but you got to call people and ask. That's how you know. You have to talk to people. I don't normally check food sources for free because it just takes a lot of time. So sometimes it's included in my consultation, depending. Sometimes it isn't. If you pay me like $50, I would verify food for you. But yeah. Yeah, so I can't help you there. Well, no, let's say I could help you, but I'm not going to for free, so because it just takes a lot of time. I already have my food sources. That's not something I need to worry about. Chat slowed down. Guess people left. That's okay. What time is it? 11:30. Jeez Louise. What are we gonna get? Hour 13. We might go hour 30. We'll see here. I listened to some tunes tonight. If I put that pipe, whatever, on my Android, I'd be able to listen to, stuff for free. But what kind of storage you got for the food? Well, I have a storage video. It's basically just glass jars, ball jars, jars I reuse. Like this was a honey jar, and I just put milk in there, shook it up, and used the rest of the honey that way. I've got a lot of quart jars, and I've been upping my half-gallon jars because those save space. Those are good for milk, or if I make a lot of sauces or vegetable juice. Also, if I buy a lot of meat. A quart jar can hold 2 pounds of meat, so a half-gallon jar can hold 4 pounds of meat, roughly. A pint holds a pound of butter and a pound of meat. You can buy really cheap ceramic, I mean they're well made, but ceramic and glass Pyrex containers with lids at thrift stores. That's a good thing to put meat in sometimes. I've been more partial to using ball jars because they take up less space in the fridge. But if you get like a whole chicken and you don't want to throw it away, if you get like a ceramic dish with a lid, that works really well for chicken. I use that when I get whole chickens. I refrigerate pretty much everything, except for the milk that I drink. I leave it on the counter mostly. Some milk I keep in the fridge for the bath, and that's for drinking milk and extra bath milk in half-gallon containers. Half of that I will use for extra bath water neutralization methods. Half of that I drink, and then I keep quart jars for each bath through the month in my fridge. So if it's 4 or 6 or 8 quarts I have ready to go, so because it keeps them fresher, because you don't want to have old milk in your bath because it gets cheesy and it sticks to your hair. That's not fun. And yeah, so that's what I do for my milk and stuff. I refrigerate stuff I pickle. I refrigerate pre-made hydration formulas I just have to blend up. I refrigerate vegetable juice. I refrigerate my meat. I keep my cheese in the fridge, and I'll bring some out in slabs and cut them into cubes and let them dry off. But generally I just keep the cheese in the fridge. I refrigerate my fruits. It's not good to refrigerate melon though. And but cold melon is really tasty. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I use the fermented milk for bathing, so reverse. Wow, you're brave. The fermented milk just turns into cheese. It gets on all my hair. It gets on all my body hair. And I just have cheese pulling on my hairs all the time. It's happened It's happened 2 or 3 times to me. But yeah, that's a no-go for me. I do not use fermented milk in the bath. It gets too messy. I don't like it. So fresh milk. I'm lucky that I get A1 milk. So I get like a gallon of A1 milk for $3. Throw that in the tub. I use that. It's pretty awesome. So yeah. Buttermilk. Sometimes I'll leave buttermilk out. Sometimes I'll refrigerate it. It depends. Sometimes I like to get it fermented. New pipe, yeah. Oh wow, that's high tech, J-Do. I'll have to look into that. I used to be a big audiophile guy. You know, in Minecraft when I would download music, it always had to be FLAC or what was it, 328 kilobytes a second, lossless audio quality. That stuff was really cool. But yeah, I really kind of got out of that because I don't really have a good sound system, so it doesn't really matter to a point. Now I have these headphones, which are exceptional headphones for the price, I will say, but as long as it's 328 kilobytes a second, it's fine. Even 256 is tolerable, but it doesn't pick up the subtleties of how music is usually designed to be listened to if you're listening to any sort of artist with production quality. So, do you think delivery facilitates radiate? No. Unless you're going to like the really big cities, they're not doing it. Generally, they don't have time. UPS and FedEx do not have time to X-ray their packages. The internet made it less convenient for us OG music listeners and just conveniently annoying for people with money and time to listen to random stuff. Yes. Streaming also ruined the concept of an album because now people make songs to get famous and they're just making songs, and a lot of albums are filler. No one really makes good albums anymore. I don't really think there's a lot of good music post 2010. There just isn't. I'm not saying that's like everything, but it's like a lot of things. Just like a lot of stuff isn't that interesting. It's not that good. So maybe post 2014, 2015. But you did have some cool like lo-fi and vaporwave stuff that came out. And I'm not saying like there's no good artists who make new music and no new artists, but it's just hard to find because of how the music industry evolved and how culture evolved too. So it's easy and hard to find new music, but I will say what's gotten easier is people are rediscovering songs, especially like on TikTok. Like an old song will go viral and people pick it up again, and that's pretty cool because like there's so much good old music to listen to that still sounds fresh, and yeah, I'm a big fan of that. So, but it's just times are different, and people write songs and make music that are relevant, but I guess what's relevant isn't cool. Everything's just kind of stinky. What about the cute chill step phase of 2012 to 2013? Chill step? No. Chill step. I think dubstep's cancer. honestly. There's a reason there's like no more dubstep. Like it's not popular anymore. It's because everybody got burned out or OD'd. Because it's just really bad music. Dubstep is like bachata music for white people. And bachata music is like some of the worst music ever of all time. It's just ungodly noise and just terrible. It's so bad. I can't believe people listen to that stuff. The rhythms are grating. It's just really bad. Vril wave. I don't know. What is Vril wave? Let me look that up. It's probably cringe. Vril wave. Oh yeah. So when I search up Vril wave, Soulbra comes up. In his music, I guess. Which I've listened to before. The mixes are really mid, honestly. They're not exciting. There's no dynamics. It's really just annoying techno. It just sounds like really bad techno you'd hear at some beach party in Thailand or Indonesia, like some Southeast Asian country. It just sounds like some bro techno music. I mean, no shade to Soulbra. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but just musically, that's just not interesting for me, at least, and that's what it sounds like to me. I'm a music purist. I actually used to play instruments, and I did it for about 14 years before I stopped playing, pretty much. And I played shows, I recorded music, and yeah. So I know what sounds good, I know what works, and yeah, Vril wave is really, it's kind of cringe. It's very forced, and it's made by people who have no like taste in music. It just sounds very sterile. It's like, I don't know, why would you even waste your time making edits of crappy, like, annoying club music? I don't know. I guess if you enjoy it, okay, fine, but like there's better like techno and dub and jungle and drum and bass. There's more exciting techno music to use. Because a lot of the techno music, it uses prefabricated sounds. The interesting thing about electronic music is that they will fashion their own sounds, or they will use analog instruments to make sounds and things. They'll use field recordings for stuff, and it adds a human element to the music. It adds authenticity. It adds authenticity and dynamics, excitement, and connection. But just listening to a bunch of overproduced computer sounds that are like filtered and pitched to sound perfect, it's really kind of annoying, especially some of the tempo. Like the tempo's not, it's just really not interesting. So I'm sure some people would say the same thing about jazz, but if you can't appreciate jazz, that's if you can't appreciate jazz, you don't understand music. You're low IQ. Even if you don't like jazz, smart people appreciate it for what it is. But people who really understand music like jazz because jazz is probably one of the most authentic and innovative expressions of music ever. I love jazz. The first time I heard jazz when I was a kid, I said, I understand this, but I can't listen to it yet because I don't appreciate it. Like, I would just bookmarked it for later. But yeah, that's kind of the way I feel about it. Jazz is a total barometer to people's intelligence and musical proficiency. Usually if you have proficiency in music and you understand music, you can say, oh yeah, jazz is nice enough. You can understand it. Even schmaltzy, listening to music, ballads, you can appreciate what's going on there musically with the textures and the dynamics. But, a lot of people, it's just lost on them. They don't understand music. Amour toujours, I don't know what that is. L'amour toujours. Oh, I don't know. I'm reading the lyrics, and pretty cringe. I've probably heard this before, though, but it's not that's the thing. I've heard it, and I don't remember it, and I didn't want to listen to it. So I'm probably not into it. How much butter do I consume a day? Or sometimes half a pound, personally. Good vids. I was wondering if butter, bone marrow, pepper paste ever help with hair regrowth. No, it doesn't. I don't really think there's anything too much that diet can help with growth. If you're already eating this diet and it's not regrowing your hair, it's not a diet problem. I think it has more to do with posture and blood flow, honestly. Because I have spots on my head where I have hair coming in, a couple strands, where like my hairline used to be, which doesn't make sense if you think about the theory of hair loss. So in my mind, it's a blood issue. I do too much reading, too much phone time, too much reading, too much computer work, and this has taken a toll on the blood flow to my scalp. I've been doing more inversion table and handstands in hopes that it helps recirculate blood, more stretching and stuff, neck exercises, and I think that should work if anything's going to work. I might try some microneedling maybe to see if that helps. But the peppercorn stuff, the blood doesn't work. I don't know if I had a fungus. I might have had a fungus on my scalp that's causing folliculitis. So I've been doing an onion rinse for that. And I don't know, we'll see if it works. Ryo Fukui. Yeah, he's a good pianist. I like Ahmed Jamal for solo piano. Bill Evans. I mean, yeah, Bill Evans is my favorite. It doesn't really get better than Bill Evans at the piano. He bar none. I mean, what he did on Kind of Blue, like, that's the album. That's the jazz album. I'm not saying that's the best jazz album, but I think in terms of a quintessential jazz album, that's in the top 5. And Bill Evans' work on that is amazing. The piano outro on Green and Blue is incredible. It's so perfect. Bill Evans is so good. He's the best. He's the best to ever do it, probably. Does having pets equal low cortisol? I think it can help in some ways, but sometimes if you don't train your pets, it can be stressful. Yeah, Ryo Fukui. I don't know what they were putting in the YouTube music algorithm in 2016 and 2017, but man, like a bunch of music that was on there got really famous several years ago on TikTok. Piero Piccioni, Ryo Fukui, was it Software Magic, that Island Sunrise song? Yeah, a lot of stuff, man. I found out a lot of good music through the YouTube recommended music. Their algorithm was so good. It was, I don't know what they did to it. They messed it up. I still believe in your eyes. Oh, thank you. Derma roller. I've heard things that a derma roller isn't good because the derma roller it rubs the scalp. The microneedling is a more precise and clean technique. So I would not opt for a derma roller. I would do the microneedling scalp massages. Yeah, I've been trying to do those. I don't remember. Lenny Tristiano is pretty cool. I don't know who that is. I'll have to look him up. Green and blue is tough, man. Yeah. How much sun do I get on a weekly basis? Well, considering I live in the Midwest and it's winter right now, I don't get a lot because there's like, it's gray all the time. So, and like I'm snowed in today. I mean, yesterday it was sunny and I went outside and I shoveled the drive and the sidewalks because of the snow plows put all the snow on the sidewalks and the driveways. So I had to clear the sidewalks for people and I had to clear the driveway for people because they walk across that. And so I could leave my house if I need to. I didn't. So yeah, but I was all bundled up. I only got sun in my face and my eyes, which is enough. It's okay, but yeah, I'm not getting enough sun. But I've got this, and I don't know if this helps with vitamin D, but the infrared light is really awesome. It's very comforting. It's very aesthetic. It's warm, and I really enjoy having it. So the infrared light is a big thumbs up for me. They're cheap too. You can get 2 bulbs for $10 at a Rural King or a Tractor Supply. So yeah, yeah. When I'm in the summer though, I'm outside pretty much all day, every day, working. Trying to get a new job though, honestly. So yeah, we'll see. Software Magic. No, let me look it up. It's not Software Magic. Island Sunrise. Oh. Oh, the song is just Software. It's Island Sunrise. The song is by Software. Yeah, man. This just came up out of nowhere on a YouTube recommendation in 2017 on YouTube. And the 100% Electronica YouTube channel. Yeah, man, and this song, it's just so perfect. It's just ambient. It's just perfect electronic ambience. It's so good. Island Sunrise by Software. It's an amazing song. It's definitely one of the best like electronic songs ever, I think. It's iconic. So chill. It's perfect. I love it. You've probably heard it on TikTok. If you scroll on TikTok, it's on almost 40,000 videos. I'm sure you've heard it. It's great. Back in 2017, I got into solar fields and Boards of Canada. Yeah, Boards of Canada. That's a good one. I love Music is the Right to Children is a good album. I think it loses steam though. Gio Gotti is honestly one of the most unsettling pieces of music I've ever heard. It reminds me, it has the insidiousness of like Memphis murder rap in the 90s. It has this dark energy around it. But it has some of the coolest soundscapes and little songs and theme. Yeah, Gio Gotti is a trip. It's a really cool album. I really like the Boards of Canada EPs as well. The little EPs they do, those are really good. I never really got into Campfire Head Phase, and their newer album honestly was, I mean, it's okay, but it's not something I listen to a lot. I listen to their older stuff, definitely. Boards of Canada knocks it out of the park. They They're incredible. Sepultura, they have some cool songs. Not a band I listen to a lot, but I would like to listen to more of them. In terms of metal, um, yeah, um, Pantera, probably my favorite metal band. I love Pantera. Combi Christ. Well, I'll look it up. Yeah, I'm a big Pantera fan. I actually saw Pantera, new Pantera, um, you know, and they were good. Zach is not Dimebag, and Vince is not Vinnie Paul or whoever their drummer is. But it was good. It was good. Phil sounded good, and Zach, he plays a good guitar, so it was pretty close. It's just as someone who was always been into Pantera, and you know, and Dimebag was murdered. Like, when I was into them, I was like, oh, that was one of the bands I wanted to see. Even though I wasn't into Damage Plan too much, I still would have loved to see him live, because he was one of the big reasons why I started playing guitar. So, like so many people, and yeah, I mean, I always listened to like Floods on repeat. Man, I wore out that CD, The Great Southern Trendkill, and now you look around and Floods is like everywhere on, like everyone's playing it, and yeah, it's a good solo, man. I used to play it back in the day too. Um, it was a fun solo to play, and the outro especially. It's a fun little exercise. Jeff Beck is another one. Jeff Beck's album Blow by Blow, probably one of the best solo guitar albums of all time. Fusion jazz albums. Very smooth, doesn't get old, a lot of great themes and textures and sounds. Scatterbrain. Yeah, man, Scatterbrain is like, that's actually an exercise he would do, and he just made a song out of it. But in the last part of Scatterbrain, where he plays the theme, there's a break. There's a break and a guitar fill in there, and it's just so it's so gnarly. It's one of my favorite guitar lines of all time. The last end of the song, it's so good. Motley Crue I do not like. Actually, funny story. You can look up Izzy N. Griffin. He just posted a video about how drug dealers will use musicians to funnel. They'll use those as like money laundering tools. Motley Crue and Bon Jovi were basically money laundering tools for cocaine and marijuana sales. That's why they were big, because you had a bunch of people selling all these drugs and then funding these bands. And that's how they got airtime. That's how they got money to tour. That's how they got money for press and videos. And yeah, I mean, Mick Mars is probably the only good part of Motley Crue, because he was like older than all those guys, and he was like a real musician. Mick Mars carried that band, even though he had degenerative spinal disease. Very incredible on Mick Mars' part. A lot of respect for Mick Mars. Not a lot of respect for the music in general of Motley Crue, though. I think it's trite. So, like I said, I'm kind of a snob. I'm not really into 80s metal anyway. I like Rat. I think Rat's really underrated as a 80s metal band. They're definitely one of the best ones, in my opinion. But yeah, 80s metal kind of sucks. It's probably because everyone was doing too much cocaine. And yeah. So, Bruce Springsteen, yeah. Bruce Springsteen's really overrated. Really cringy. honestly. I like that song "Dancing in the Dark" though. That's a nice song, but all this other stuff's really annoying. Just really like pompous, arrogant, annoying anthems. Like listening to him yell "Born in the USA" 100 times. It's stupid. Um, yeah, it's just a bunch of stupid feel-good boomer music. I feel the same way about who was it? I pair him up with Bruce Springsteen all the time. Um, yeah, I forgot. Darn it, I lost track of them. Oh well, it'll come back to me. Anyway, yeah, I'm not a fan of the boss. Yeah, it's so cringe. Yep. Well, this has been fun chatting about music, but now I kind of want to go listen to music and lay down. So I think I'm going to do that. Thanks for hanging out. I hope it was good to answer your questions. That was worthwhile for you. So, I'm probably not going to stream again until maybe Saturday night. Maybe. Um, and if it isn't Saturday night, it'll probably be next Friday. So, yeah, this is going to be. Yeah, check that out though, J Dude. Check out that Boozoo Bajou juke joint. You'll love it. I'm absolutely positive you'll love it, and you'll say this is one of the most interesting things I've listened to so far this year, at least. Not that the year just started, but I can't recommend that enough. Please check it out. It's fantastic. It's such a vibe. So I can't stress that enough. Jeff Beck's Blow by Blow too. Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow. That's a phenomenal jazz fusion album. His Wired album is pretty good too, but he kind of fell off on the albums, honestly. But the live at Ronnie Scott's he does is really good. Sorry, you got me talking about music, and I'm all revved up, but I'm getting tired. I drank a bunch of milk and cream and honey, so that'll do it. And with that, I'm off to bed.